The first, the Chinese internet giants are doing everything. If you look at the list of top Chinese internet companies, they are all platforms, all aspiring to be one, offering services in different verticals across industries. The second theme, we were struck by the profound impact that the internet is having on the rural population in China. The third is what we call social plus. Chinese internet companies, perhaps more than internet companies elsewhere, has really been pioneering the use of social networking as an anchor to drive user engagement. And the last, when you talk about China, you got to figure what the government thinks, because the government has a very visible hand in its development.
So let's do a bit of a deep dive into those four themes. Think about companies that are in all of these sectors: e-commerce, media, AI, the sharing economy, autonomous cars, fintech, education, and my favorite sector, gaming. There aren't many companies in the world that can claim to be part of all of these. But in China, the big three, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, are all in all of these sectors. Now, in the report, we actually have a list of their investments in each sector. You can peruse that when the full report comes out right about now.
The second theme about the rural population. Now, in China, there are now about 200 million internet users in the rural areas. And as you can see from the slide, their incomes have been going up steadily. This has made them an increasingly important demographic for Chinese internet companies, and they're coming into their own as well. So I just want to highlight three aspects of it. E-commerce. Increasingly, people in the rural areas in China have access to e-commerce and all the services that comes with it. This has actually created jobs. We interviewed startup entrepreneurs who have gone back to their hometowns to start businesses because they can now export some of the produce from their villages to markets that were not possible before e-commerce. In terms of education, some of the schools in the most remote parts of China are now connected by live streaming to bigger, more well-resourced schools in perhaps the bigger cities, so that educational resources can be shared. And in news and entertainment, the explosion in popularity of short video apps in China has been driven largely by people in the rural areas who, for the first time, has been able to create and consume content and entertainment for themselves.
I want to talk about social plus and the social plus model now. Social is a part of virtually every business, but in China, it's embraced as the basis for many platforms, whether in fintech, whether in education, whether in media. For instance, talking about education, Mint Reading, it almost uses peer pressure to shame people into doing more revision. I want to do a deep dive into one of these companies now, Pinduoduo. Here's a screenshot from the app when you try and buy an item from the app. At the bottom there are two prices. There's the regular price and the social price. The social price is a third the regular price. That's the price you get if you buy in a group. Given how easy it is, why wouldn't you try for the social price? And if you're still on the fence, you're still not sure whether you want to grab this offer or not, Pinduoduo has another tactic for you. They continually blast notifications on the page showing other people have bought this item. Hey, look, your friend just bought it. Shouldn't you buy it too?
And the last of the four themes, the government is the visible hand. Success or failure in China's internet landscape, you have to figure out what the Chinese government is doing. So if you were just to look at some of the more prominent interventions into the space, in September, China closed down cryptocurrency exchanges and banned ICOs. 3 months later, they tightened rules around internet financing and peer-to-peer online lending. Earlier this year, in the first quarter, there was a big campaign to clean up the internet of lowbrow content and illicit information.